You want to know why you're hated? You want to know why those closest to you don't even like you? It's because of your dreams. It's because of your potential. They hate you based off potential alone. They hate you based off the potential that your dreams are going to come true. They don't realize that their hatred is actually setting you right on a fast track for your dreams to come true. They don't realize that. And in the case of Joseph, when they did what they did, if you're unfamiliar with the story of Joseph, I'll just clue you. This is based on, starting in Genesis 37, he was so favored by his father. So his siblings didn't like that. He didn't like that he had favor on his life by his father. But that wasn't it. That's not the part that made them literally stab him in the back. Well, yeah, might as well stab him in the back. It's when he dreamed a dream that he was going to be above his brothers and his father, and they were going to bow to him. That symbolizes in and of itself elevation. A lot of you have dreams of elevation. A lot of you have dreams where you're in a place of just beauty and you're in a different environment where you are really on top. And that is not a dream that you just have. It's not vanity. It's not narcissism. That's a real dream. That's not something that you just feel out of the blue. If you're compelled to pursue something, let's say you want to be a journalist, or you want to write a book, have a TV show, like there are certain dreams. Obviously you take everything to the Lord, but given it's not a sin, it's not something like you won't kill someone, you're gonna hurt someone, you're doing this so you can ignore God. Given this, that this is a heart, like a passion of yours, it was placed on your heart. It wasn't an accident. So when Joseph's siblings, they were so jealous. This is when their hatred grew. It didn't grow because they hated him. It grew because they hated his dreams. In Genesis 37:5, it says, "And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told his brethren, and they hated him yet the more." Just your dreams, not even the fulfillment of the dreams. It was the dream itself. There are some people in your life that just by you telling them the dream, just by you sharing with them, these are people that you trust. These are people that you know. Obviously, someone who doesn't like you, you're not going to share your business with. I really hope not. But someone that you love, you're telling them, hey, you know, I have this new business. It's always a new business idea or a new something that you don't see, something out of the norm, and you share it with them. And their first response is doubt. It could be side-eyeing, or it could just be being fake happy for you. When you know when someone's fake happy for you, you have some level of, if you're watching this, I know you're pretty discerning, so you can discern, like, yeah, they weren't happy for me at all. And it got to the point where they started plotting his murder. "Come now therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit, and we will say some evil beast has devoured him, and we shall see what shall become of his dreams." Genesis 37:20. Listen, do you know how that thing cut me? That thing really went into my spirit, because it's like, it's not that they hate you, but the fulfillment of what God has for you, the thought of the fulfillment of what God has for you, the thought of the new business, the thought of the new journey, the thought of the new YouTube channel, the thought of the new product, hair care, the thought of the new book that you're writing, the thought of the new things that you're just thinking of, the dreams that were put on your heart, is what gets people mad. You ain't even got to fulfill it, but it's just the thought of those things that make people upset, and those closest to you upset. And it makes them upset because they're asking themselves, why you and not me? What makes you have the favor and not me? When you are chosen, you are chosen. You don't choose to be chosen. You just are chosen. When God has his hand on you, you know it. And you would think for someone as highly favored as Joseph, he wouldn't go through something that he eventually went through, because what happened? They sold him into slavery. But God is so good. I'm going to shout. I'm going to run around my room. And I don't mean this as a joke. I mean this as I'm being serious. Because they didn't realize that when they said, what shall become of his dreams? They were like, well, we'll see what's going to happen now. They didn't realize he was going to be put on a fast track to his dreams. That the path that they put him on in trying to kill his dreams was really the path that was going to fulfill his dreams. Because I don't know, I'm not going to assume everyone knows this, but what happens is he got sold into slavery, and then Potiphar, who he got sold to, was a general or an official in Egypt. And when he got sold, he was the head, Potiphar, he was the second in command in Potiphar's house. Well, actually, Potiphar put him in charge. He was so well favored by Potiphar that Potiphar had him over his house. He was like the #1 servant. All the other servants probably checked in with him. He was that guy, and he was he had so much favor. And Potiphar really took a liking to Joseph. Mind you, he's in slavery, and still he has favor on his life. But what then happens? Then his wife, Potiphar's wife, tries to get Joseph to sleep with him, and he keeps refusing and says, "It's not right. God is not proud of it. I would never do such a thing. That is unlike me." Tries to be polite, and I thought it was one time. She tried this many times, and one of the times she got a piece of his cloak or his garment, and she cried, and she faked and said, "Oh, he tried to force himself on me," and the guards arrested him. He was arrested, and he was in prison, right? And I'm like, okay. To me, I'm thinking, God, I couldn't be any further from the dream, because, if I was Joseph, I'm like, okay, I'm in slavery, fine. Then I'm in high security, what I believe to be high security jail. This is not good. But what happened? Joseph had favor in jail. The guard, whatever it's called, he had favor with the guard. So you have that favor with the guard. You then, from Potiphar to favor in the guard. Then what happened? If while he was in jail, then the Pharaoh of all of Egypt, okay, he was having nightmares and needed someone to interpret it. So through a string of events, Joseph, who not only dreams but interprets dreams, came and interpreted the Pharaoh's dreams. Because of his interpretation, and because of that, and the Pharaoh had peace about it. Mind you, they're polytheistic. They believe in many gods, but Pharaoh said, your God he must be the God, okay? I thought my gods were gods. Your God is it. And he was put second in command of all of Egypt. All of Egypt, he was put in command, all of Egypt. So that when his brothers, what eventually happened? There was a famine in the land. That's what the Pharaoh was dreaming about. And God put so much wisdom on Joseph that he knew how to deal with the famine. He knew how to save some things away. He knew how to do it. So when the harvest was when the harvest was plentiful, they saved. And then when it was time of famine, they had. And who came to in need of food? His brothers. What happened? His siblings bowed down to him. You see, the very trap they set for him ensnared them. This is what people don't understand. The very path that you're on right now, where you think all these bad things are happening to you, I know because, well, let me just use myself as an example. If you watch my other videos, you know my past, surviving cancer, betrayal, all these different things, stabber, all these different things, health, school, COVID, the works. And I'm saying to myself, God, it feels like you say you love me, you say you have favor on my life, yet look at this. This is not evidence of favor, but it is though. And I don't always think that, and I'm not always going to claim to be like, yes, it's favor, because who likes to go through just terrible things? But it could just be. It is that everything I'm going through is on a path to God fulfilling the dream. My YouTube channel is much bigger than I realize. I believe it is much bigger than just me and Jackie. God is just showing me a portion of the dream. When God showed Joseph the dream of him being his elevation over his siblings, he probably didn't see being put over all of Egypt. He probably didn't see him getting sold into slavery. He just saw what God needed him to see, the elevation. not knowing what else is gonna come. So God is just showing me a part of the dream, which is YouTube and other things, okay? God is just showing you a part of the dream. What you're seeing, your desire to start that new business, your desire to do that thing that other people will be afraid of, but you want to do, that is just a portion. You're only seeing this, okay? God sees obviously the whole picture, and he knows the blessing that this dream is gonna have when it's fulfilled. You need to be very careful who you share your dreams with, because not everybody is rooting for you. Trust me when I say the people who are closest to you may not necessarily be rooting for you, but just staying along just to see you fall, just to see you not successful. But they don't know that it's gonna come right back to them, because what happened, those same brothers, they thought they were doing something. They said, let's see what shall become of your dreams. That's what your friends, family, those closest to you, because it's not going to be your enemies. You can see them, okay? You can see your enemies coming. If somebody say they don't like you, I know I'm not going to share my dreams, but it's those who are closest to you who do the sneaking up on you, the friends that you've had for years. You be careful. I'm not saying look at your friends, don't trust them. I'm just saying be careful when you start. You know what? Tell them something you don't mind them knowing. Tell them something small and see how they react. Because if they're reacting in a way that you're discerning jealousy, they're a little cross, they're asking weird questions, they're really not your friend, and they're just sticking along just to see you fall. Take it from me. If somebody is jealous of you, they will do whatever it takes to see you fall. They just don't know that it's going to come right back to them. And part of it's like, oh my God, I feel so bad. When the thing comes back onto them, they feel bad. It's like, well, you were warned. You knew this wasn't the right thing to do, and you did it. Your dreams are so valid. The dreams that you have are so beyond you, but they're perfect for you, if that makes sense. God has crafted the dream specifically for you, and the enemy wants you to distract you from your dreams. He wants you to doubt that the dream is too big for you. Even though the dreams are bigger than you, they're not too big for you. Meaning there's a bigger purpose to why you are drawn to the things you are drawn to, or the passion, but they're not too big for you. Because if they were, you wouldn't have conceived it. God wouldn't have placed it on your heart if he knew you really couldn't receive it. If he knew he didn't have a plan for you to fulfill it. Okay? You will fulfill these dreams. They're not too big. I don't care if you said, I want to have something like, I don't know, I want to have tea with King Charles. I don't know why you'd want to have tea with King Charles or with Prince Harry and Meghan. Nothing is too big. Why is that too big? Talking with my therapist, we were talking, she was saying like, why is that too big? I asked her, I said, this is too big. She said, why? And I thought about it. You're a daughter of the Most High God. You're a son of the Most High God. Why is anything too big for you? Nothing is too big for you. Just because God has a much bigger plan for you, it's not too big for you. You are at the right place and at the right time. And I pray if you're watching this, you're blessed. I am going to ask you 2 questions. You don't have to tell me. You can leave it in the comments, but it's more for you to reflect. One question is, what is the true reason that you deem your dreams as impossible when you know the God you serve? I asked myself this question because it's like, I know who God is, but why do I think it's impossible, right? And the second question is the opposition that you endure a sign the dream will not actually happen, or the dream is unfolding into reality? Another self-reflection question. I'm not going to give you my answers because I don't want to influence you. I want you to think of like your reasons. But I hope this word blessed you. I hope you know that the path that you're on, it might be a little sad, you might be a little weary, but you are meant to be here. If you're watching my channel, if you watch my other videos, or if this is your first video, I just want to say I love you. I pray you glow in peace with me. When I started this channel, I was just thinking of something that embodied what path I'm on, and we're literally glowing and peace. And if that means, unfortunately, you might have to cut off some people who are really not in your corner, you're gonna have to seek the Lord and ask God, are the people around me really for me? God, expose who is not for me. Expose who really does not want me to win. And trust me, one thing, God is quick. Okay, you ask God, God, can I be in a relationship? He's going, okay, when you're ready, okay? You ask God for, okay. And that's not that because God is mean and wants to withhold things for you. He just knows timing. But one thing God will not hesitate is to remove somebody who's really against you from your life. And he knows the damage that could happen if this person remains in your life. If this person is in your life and they might be fake, but they intend to sow discourse, chaos, every single thing. They want to destroy you. And I know that sounds melodramatic or I'm exaggerating, but it's not, because you don't know the lengths people will go to see your dreams. These were his brothers, Joseph's brothers, and they would have killed him, but they said, let's do one better. The only reason why they sold him into slavery is because his older brother was like, we're not going to make any, like, what is that? What do we profit? Let's just sell him and we can get some money out of selling him. You don't know what lengths people are going to go to. So this is why you pray and ask God for discernment, because it's the spiritual wickedness is getting bad, but God's favor is just magnifying over your life. His grace, his peace, everything good is about to come to pass. Everything that God wants. He's not going to withhold any good thing from you. And God is not tantalizing you. He's not putting this dream in your face saying, oh, you can't get it. You got to be quicker than that. He's putting this in your mind and it's constantly on your heart because he wants you to start taking steps, true steps to fulfilling this dream. Because, and I'll make a separate video about this. Yes, it's God putting the dream on your heart. Yes, it's you desiring it. But then there comes a point where you have to go from the desire to like walking out. Like, God, help me with a plan. If I want to start the business, help me with a business proposal. If I want to start the YouTube channel, help me, God, with channel like video ideas. Help me, God, please. I really would like better equipment. That's when you start. That's when you start. You got to have the plan. But right now, the dream is enough. That is what the Lord wants me to say. The dream right now is enough and it's valid and it's going to come to pass. So I could keep talking, but I think that's enough for this video. So I love you guys. I really pray you're blessed. I want you to know I really do love you. You have changed my life so much. God knew the right time to make my YouTube channel go from literally ain't nobody knew about my channel, no one knew, to like a lot of people coming out of the blue. I'm very close to 10,000 subscribers, which is not something I thought in a short span of time. So I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your support, your really kind comments. I really love you guys, and I pray that God blesses you for not for supporting me, but just blesses you, period, because you deserve the best in life. You deserve to have all your dreams come true, and we know that if God put them on your heart, they will come to pass. Okay, I love you. Jackie loves you, and we'll see you in the next video.